According to NigerianNews.com, Ifeanyi Ejiofor unveils the blueprint for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release. That is how NigeriaNews.com reported. But Daily Trust, Hausa newspaper, says, and I quote, Ifeanyi Ejiofor moves to Sokoto prison to set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free. You that is hearing me, what do you think? According to one poster yesterday, he said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should overhaul all he called his lawyers, including that madman that always want to appear in picture by name Aloy Ejimako. I'm sorry to use that word because I know it may offend some people who love him. But that guy is not doing well. Let us be realistic. But notwithstanding, that is my own assertion. It is not generally you must believe on what I said over somebody's behavior. That is exactly the area I'm going. So please, I am sorry if that word may offend anybody. But let us be realistic. So according to the one I'm reading here now, it said Ejiofor unveils blueprint for Nnamdi Kanu's release. Anyway, let us go to the reason why we're here this morning. According to another headline here, it says all these locals among those who worked day and night, who conspired with Tinubu to make sure that Nnamdi Kanu are being sent to Sokoto prison. We know. I said it yesterday, right? Now another source don't confirm what I talked yesterday. Sit at home, don't still persist in Anambra State despite Kanu's conviction. They think say they go just quench the fire just like that. Yeah. Nnamdi Kanu controls the highest population in the whole of West Africa in terms of movement. So that guy no be small guy. BDM they learn for where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dey now. Placing him in Sokoto prison is not George's fault. Nnamdi Kanu's ex-lawyers laments. Anyway, my people, let us read the news. I'm sorry if I have taken much of your time, but when I don't nketa akọrọ na ahụ igosi ya na ọbụrụ mbọ ka ịtụrụ ya. Like, share, comment, and please follow us on all our social media handles. A former counsel for the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and a human rights lawyer, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, has shared his thoughts on how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can regain his freedom. Speaking in a press statement on Tuesday, Ejiofor opined that Igbo political figures of integrity working in consultation with the appropriate leadership must lead the intervention for the release of Kanu. Ejiofor stated that emotions must transcend rhetoric and misinformation. He argued that it had become necessary for Igbo political heavyweights and legal minds to join forces and swing into action. The statement read in part, given the labyrinthine complexity of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal odyssey and the delicate interplay of law, politics, diplomacy, and public sentiment surrounding it, it is my considered, honest, and unwavering view that a structured, high-caliber intervention must now override the current cacophony of well-mentioned but strategically hollow commentary. It has become imperative, indeed unavoidable, that Igbo political heavyweights and legal minds of enviable global dispute immediately swing into coordinated action, an intervention where influence speaks far louder than dramatic press releases, emotional outbursts, or roadside gallantry masquerading as strategy. This group must incorporate eminent Igbo personalities drawn from the Southeast state, executive federal cabinet members of Igbo extraction, and respected national figures whose names command gravitas, influence, and consequences across Nigeria's political landscape, according to him. Once the political vanguard is unveiled, the next indispensable step is the constitution of a formidable team of legal luminaries, individuals of exceptional international distinction, who will assume full command of the legal architecture, particularly the highly sensitive appellate process before us. Another headline. Audios Carlos among those who conspire with Tinubu to confine Nnamdi Kanu to Sokoto prison. Indigenous people of Biafra. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has alleged that the senator representing Abia North, Audios Carlos, is among those who conspire with Tinubu to confine Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, their leader, to Sokoto prison. Nigerian News report that IPOB made the allegation while responding to Carlos' remarks that the activism of Nnamdi Kanu led to the death of over 30,000 individuals in the southeast. Carlos, a former governor of Abia State, made a claim while appearing on Channels Television's Politics Today. He said the region has suffered devastating human and economic losses as a result of the prolonged agitations and violent confrontations linked to IPOB movement. However, the group spokesman, Emma Powerless, in a statement which happened on Tuesday yesterday, dismissed the claim, describing Audios Okalo as a pathological liar. According to him, the IPOB struggle has remained non-violent despite the Nigerian government employing infamous security forces to arrest, torture, forcibly disappearance, and carrying out extrajudicial killing of numerous IPOB members since the inception. The statement reads, the worldwide family and movement of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, have denounced the irresponsible and false claim from a senator, Audios Okalo, that over 30,000 individuals lost their lives due to Nnamdi Kanu's activism in the southeast region. IPOB has extremely upset and enraged by Audios Okalo's false statements, as his assertions are entirely fabricated and part of a deliberate campaign to undermine IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The insecurity, fatalities, and devastation that occurred in the East were orchestrated by the Nigerian government and certain Eastern politicians to blackmail IPOB and ESN. The IPOB struggle has remained non-violent despite the Nigerian government employing infamous security forces to arrest, to torture, forcibly disappear, and carry out extrajudicial killings of numerous IPOB members. The evidence shows that IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have consistently been targets of military aggressions, violence, and killings backed by the state. The Nigerian government and its corrupt politicians like Oji Uzo are as malicious as they come, accountable for all the insecurity, unidentified gunmen in the East, and the terrorists throughout the nation. IPOB has demanded impartial investigations into the violence and deaths occurring in the East since 2015. Unfortunately, to this day, the disgraced government and its infamous politicians have yet to permit an independent investigation into the killers. They are aware of the murderers, just as the northern elites are involved in the terrorist activities in the north. Certain eastern politicians, especially those in APC party, are complicit in the insecurity affecting the southeast as a region. It is regrettable that Audios Okalo was one of those who colluded with Tinubu's government to confine Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in isolation in Sokoto prison, allowing them to disseminate falsehoods about him and the IPOB he leads. It is clearer to all and sundry that Audios Okalo employed the feared Bakassi boys and slaughtered over 100,000 Igbo youths extrajudicially in Abia State and the southeast region while he was governor of Abia State. During Uzo Kalo's tenure as governor of Abia State for 8 years remains an economic and security burden till this day. Sit at home persists in Anambra State despite Kanu's conviction. The weekly Monday sit at home continued across Anambra State on Monday, with major cities such as Onitsha and Nnewi remain under lock despite the conviction and imprisonment of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Nigerians report that markets, banks, schools, hospitals, and government offices were shut, while major roads were deserted as residents stayed indoors. The near total compliance reflected ongoing solidarity with Kanu among the people of the southeast. Residents told Vanguard that the sit-at-home was not imposed by IPOB remains a voluntary protest that has taken on a life of its own. The resident Obed Nwachukwu insisted that the protest would not end because of Kanu's conviction. He said those hoping that markets and businesses will reopen because of Kanu's imprisonment will have to wait. We are standing in solidarity with him until he is a free man. Another resident, Chief Okudiri Okoye, dismissed the federal government position and the judgment of Abuja Federal High Court, describing them as unsubstantiated. He said, Monday sit-at-home will continue as voluntary action in demand for fairness and justice for Igbo. Once Nnamdi Kanu regains his freedom, normal activities will then resume. Residents stressed that the sit-at-home has evolved beyond an IPOB directive and now represents a broader statement of displeasure over the perceived marginalization of Igbo people. Placing him in Sokoto prison is not the judge's fault, according to Nnamdi Kanu's ex-lawyer. The Department of State Service (DSS) has transferred the convicted leader of Indigenous People of Biafra (IPOB) Nnamdi Kanu to a correctional facility in Sokoto following his sentencing for terrorism. Nigerian News report that Kanu was moved on Friday in compliance with a ruling delivered by Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court, Abuja. The relocation followed his conviction and sentencing on a 7-count charge bordering on terrorism. Please, where is reasonable felony? Reacting to the development, Kanu's special counsel Aloy Ejimako condemned the transfer, insisting that the Sokoto division of the Court of Appeal lacked jurisdiction over the case. Speaking on Chinese televisions, the morning brief programs on Monday, Ejimako argued that the proper division remained the Abuja Court of Appeal. Ejimako said, placing him in Sokoto is not the judge's fault. Once someone is sentenced, it becomes the responsibility of the executive branch, particularly the correctional service, that decision perhaps did not consider these concerns. It is very insensitive to his rights. Prisoners still have their own personal rights. The lawyer expressed concern that Kanu transfer to Sokoto would hinder his ability to file and prosecute an appeal. He said, can Nnamdi Kanu effectively prosecute his appeal or even initiate from that location in Sokoto? The answer is no. What may play out in the coming days or weeks is an attempt to ameliorate the detention conditions. According to him, keeping Kanu in Abuja will have ensured proximity to his relatives and legal team. Ejimako added that initiating the appeal required Kanu to file a notice of appeal, request and pay for transcript and review documents, tasks requiring his direct involvement unless he chooses to hire a lawyer. Up to this point, he has not indicated that he is going to hire any lawyer or inform anybody, he noted. Ejimako said the prolonged persecution and the latest transfer showed the system's determination to suppress Kanu at all levels. So, that's what the team take be, my people. I beg now here we take a break. More of these videos coming your way. Just make sure you share it, let it go viral. If I need to go your don't come out, say, see what you want to go do so that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is going to receive his freedom. Well, if you think his statement comes at the right time, please comment it. Drop your comment at the comment section and we'll take it all from there. Have a nice day. Good Lord bless us all. Que Messiano.